everybody, it's your old pal Michael here. Just got done doing the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure down in downtown Kalamazoo. Bib number was 262. And very good race, very well organized. They do a really good job putting on this event. Registration's well organized. You're able to pick up your, find your number and then go get your stuff. And so I got there about 45 minutes early so I could get through it pretty quickly. I went and grabbed my stuff and then put my bib on, put my timing chip on my shoe, and then went to my car and just put the rest there. They had very nice people handing you water after the race. You had apples and oranges and bananas that you could eat to help you recover as well. So, I mean, they do a very good job with the race. The only thing I have against it is it's a Sunday afternoon race. And Sunday afternoon races can cause problems because today in Kalamazoo, it's hot. And it was actually, it's more humid than it was hot. It was around 80, but if you had low humidity, it wouldn't have been so bad. You would have just had some heat, but you had heat and humidity today. Not necessarily hot heat, but warm heat and humidity. It affected me a little bit in the race, and we'll talk about that coming up here a little bit. But anyways, first off, here's the shirt that we got for the race. It has some runners running on it, so it's very nice. And some sponsors on the back. And I'll show you my award that I got now too. Race for the Cure, says there, and it says 2015 top finisher on the back. So very, very nice glass that you get for an award. And they do a really great job recognizing all the breast cancer survivors before the race. A fantastic job there. We had a very nice rendition of the national anthem sung as well. Very well very well done by our singer. I forgot her name off the top of my head, but I mean, she did a fantastic job singing. And I saw a lot of my Kalamazoo runners friends as well. And sorry if I don't recognize you in this, but just to name a few people I saw Bonnie, I saw Michael, I saw Deb, I saw Frank, I saw Lana, I saw Sean and Kristen. So it was a great time catching up with them as well before and after the race. And my parents came and watched me too, which was really nice to have them cheering me on out there as well. But I got there about 45 minutes early, grabbed my stuff, did a warm-up run, stretched, and they changed the course up on us, which was something I was not expecting. I thought same course as always. They're going to have us run for the race in downtown Kalamazoo. It starts at Arcadia Creek Festival Park Place where the big band shell's at. But no, they had us running a different route this time. But they did have cones on the course so you could follow them. So you shouldn't get lost on it really. But there were a few places where actually, you could see cones where you turn and some where you go straight. So you're wondering, okay, where do I go here? But they did have people out there directing you so you could know where to go. They had a lot of great cheering support on the course. I think they were cheerleaders from local high schools in the area. I did recognize, I think, Lloyd Norks and Portage Northern. They were cheering us on. People cheering us on at a lot of street corners. Of course, the water stops as well. But anyways, let's dig into the race now. So 2 p.m. was the start. We started on an Edward Street. I can't name you all the streets off the top of my head, but we started out, and there was a guy wearing a bandana who started out pretty quickly, and I was thinking, oh boy, he's gonna run away with this race. And so I started off fast. I was trying to take it like you would intervals, because usually for an interval, a quarter-mile run on a track, I'll start out for the first 20 feet at a high burst of speed and then ease into my pace. But of course, if I had eased into the interval pace, I'd have been tired quickly. So I said, okay, let's back it off and ease into a little more slower pace, which I think was probably around 6:30 to 6:40 mile-wise. They didn't have mile markers, so I couldn't exactly grab the time at each mile. But anyways, I started out, I was about in 8th place, probably about a quarter mile in, and then I just started picking off a few runners one by one. And I'm counting like, okay, I'm in the top 10. And it wasn't like I was really trying to run after those runners either. I just let them come to me because they were starting to slow down a little bit, lose some speed there. And I had worked my way up to about 3rd when we finally hit the Kalamazoo Mall area. There was a kid in a yellow shirt in front of me, and the guy with the bandana as well. And then actually I was 4th because there was a guy in an orange shirt. and then I passed him, and then I made it up to third. And we were heading down the Kalamazoo Mall. We headed, I see the course is totally new to me, so I'm probably not going to get all this right, but I know we ended up turning, going, I think down John Street, but like I said, I don't know the course. We had a downhill, and we then headed right past a creek, and that's when I passed the guy in the bandana right around the water stop, which might have been around the 1.5 mile mark or so. Maybe that was the 1 mile mark. So I worked my way up into second, and the kid had ended up passing the guy with the bandana, who was wearing the yellow shirt. He eventually did end up winning the race. By the way, he finished with a time of 20:12 was his finishing time. But I could tell when we were going down the downhill and then hit the flat stretch after that, he was starting to turn on the jets. So I knew it was going to be hard to catch him. But then once we were winding back through the streets, I thought for a little bit there, he was starting to slow up a little bit because we were actually heading directly into a headwind, which did help keep us cool, but did slow us down at the same time. But I didn't mind it slowing us down because it did keep us cool on this very humid and warm day that we had. So the first mile, I was feeling good. And then after I worked my way up in the second, I could hear a couple of runners coming up behind me. Yeah, here I am looking over my shoulder thinking that they're right there, even though I'm sitting down on a couch. Well, anyways, there was another guy who ended up passing me along with a female runner in a pink shirt. They both ended up passing me at that time. The guy ended up getting out in front of us. He ran 20:21. I thought he was going to catch the kid at the end, but he didn't do it. But anyways, we worked our way back out. I stayed the best I could with the female runner. Actually, there was a time where, basically, if you remember my last race recap, I was running with this 51-year-old gentleman over in Vicksburg, and he would get a little bit in front of me, and I would catch him again. He'd get a little bit in front of me, I'd catch him again. It was basically the same thing was happening until about the last half mile of the race when we were heading back down in downtown Kalamazoo. We were heading past Bronson Park. I don't even know the name of the streets, and I drive in downtown Kalamazoo all the time, but we were on Rose Street. That's what we were. We were on Rose Street heading in downtown Kalamazoo, and we were heading back toward the finish line. So she had started to pull a little bit in front of me as well. She only finished about 11 seconds in front of me. I think she was 20:39 was her time. So here we are coming toward the finish, and we turned right. It had the parking ramp next to us, the Arcadia Creek parking ramp, and it was straight shot toward the finish. It was probably about a quarter mile away, maybe a little less at that point. And of course, plenty of runners or plenty of spectators cheering us on the sides, the cheerleaders, people at water stops, and a lot of the walkers who were walking today as well were also out there cheering us on. So that was great support. Saw my former high school history teacher, Mr. Gary Sprague, out there. That was nice to see him cheering us on as well as we came in. That was a little unexpected surprise there, so it was nice to see him. And my mom and my dad both met me right as I was turning on to the quarter mile to go, and I could see the clock at that point. I looked at my watch, and we were right around about 20 minutes or so. So it was a little bit less than a quarter mile to the finish then, because I was going as fast as I could. Nobody ended up catching me at the end, and I crossed the line and got 20:50, and I was exhausted. Yeah, I ran a half marathon earlier this year, but I mean, running in a very, I mean, that day it wasn't that bad for running. It was cool. It did get warm near the end, but wasn't humid. Today was warm and humid, so little bit at the end making me feel pretty exhausted. Hard to breathe out there too when it's hot and humid. So I was 4th overall, first in my age group at the time of 20:50. So it was a fantastic day. I was able to improve my time from 17 seconds compared to the last race with the Vicksburg Hardy Hustle that I had ran last Saturday. So that was a great accomplishment there. Very, very happy with that finish. So looking ahead now, next weekend, next Saturday, I will be running the Kalamazoo K5K. That's May 23rd. So check out for that recap coming as well. I'm going to post a link in the description to my racing recap series that I'm doing. I only have one other video in there right now. That's the Vicksburg Hardy Hustle, but more will be coming. This is the second video. I'll also post a link in the description to my Twitter. Subscribe for more content up in the corner. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Michael Louden. So long, everybody. Over and out.